You are now tuned in to Vuh Speaks, the podcast where we speak about photography and other topics. So let's get straight into it. I don't want no scrub. A scrub is a guy that can get no love from me. Hanging out the passenger side if his best friend's right. Trying to holler at me. Oh, I'm just getting situated here before I get into this podcast. It's a lot going on. Well, it's really not that much going on. I got a lot going on, but not for real. Anyway, what is the goddamn deal? Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Anchor, however you are consuming this podcast. Welcome back to yet another podcast. This is Vuh Speaks, the podcast where we are indeed speaking. A few things I want to touch on before I even get started with this podcast. Y'all know how at the beginning of literally every single video I've made since the day I've started making videos, I've been saying, what is the goddamn deal? For some reason, this past week, the 2 videos I put out in the past week, I've been having some people upset with me because I say, what is the goddamn deal? First of all, one person he was a white man, and he just was mad because it wasn't professional. And one thing I can't stand more than like anything is white people telling black people how they should act in a setting. Like, bro, we just had a president for 4 years who was the least professional motherfucker I've ever witnessed in my life. This is YouTube, bro. What do you mean be a little bit more professional? Like, what? Who are you talking to? Like, why are you? First of all, don't go on people's pages, YouTube channels, and try to tell them how to act. Like, you're not my boss. Like, what are you talking about? Be a little bit more professional. Like, nigga, I just said, what's the goddamn deal? Like, what? What? I don't know, bro. I will literally say whatever I want. Like, I had a job before, a professional job. It wasn't professional. I was working at a convenience store. But I don't care what setting I am in. Like, I'm not going to change who I am, change the way I talk for anything or for anyone. You're either going to like it or you're not going to like it. This idea of professionalism, just, like, some people need to stop. I don't know. And then the other day, I think it was yesterday, on my video about, like, how photography saved my life, somebody else told me that I should stop saying what's the goddamn deal because of, like, the energy it's putting off. And I was like, what energy? Like, I feel good. I'm not putting off any bad energy. I'm just saying, what's the goddamn deal? It's something that where I'm from, the people around where I'm from have said to each other since, like, I was 12. And I'm like, I'm sorry if you're, like, religious and, like, you know, it, like, sounds disrespectful or anything like that. Never want to be disrespectful or anything like that. But, I mean, it's a lot. I'm personally going to keep saying the things that I want to say and doing the things that I want to do, despite what anybody else on the internet thinks I should be doing, because I am who I am. I can't change that for anybody. I don't want to be disrespectful to anybody, but I'm not going to disrespect myself by changing who I am and the things that I say and the things that I do for anybody else. So, yeah, that's that. So, what is the goddamn deal, everybody? Few things we want to talk about. We're gonna get the title of this podcast. We're clearly gonna get into that in a second, but I do have some questions on Twitter that I do want to ask and address before we get started or go into that. Honestly, maybe some of these questions could segue into that. Somebody's car alarm is going off outside. They don't know I'm doing a podcast. They don't care. But niggas in Detroit don't care about what anybody else is doing. Anyway, this question says, working with film and digital and how it's essentially a non-issue despite the fact that there's such a huge debate about it. And that question is from Don Thoy. I really hope I said your name right. It's DOANTHOI. I really hope I said that right. But in my opinion, working with film and digital, they're both two different processes. They're both two different kind of mediums. They both, I guess, give you the same result at the end of the day. You get a picture from both film and digital, and that's the goal within photography, is to create a picture, and they both do that just fine. He said it's essentially a non-issue, but there is a debate around it. I don't know if there's really a debate. I feel like some people who make the debate themselves. I don't feel like, maybe there is an ongoing online debate where people debate whether film is better than digital. There's a lot of posts on Twitter where it's like digital versus film. I actually just posted a video where it was a digital versus film. There's a lot of videos on YouTube where people compare digital to film, and then, you know, the comments are always just, oh, I like the digital better because it is, or I like the film because it is. Film is the best. It can never be recreated. The look of film will always be undefeated. So I don't know, that some people prefer digital because of certain factors and stuff like that, but I really don't have a say so in it. I used to talk shit about film a lot before I started shooting film, just because like I felt like it was a wave. I never followed trends. I was never one to jump on trends or anything like that. And I feel like before I started shooting film, it was a trend to shoot film. Like, it wasn't, people were shooting film just to be like, I'm shooting film, I'm a good photographer. Also, a lot of film photographers that I had like ran into were like dickheads about a lot of stuff, and they like thought they were the gods of photography just because they shot film and shit like that. So like, I always had like this discomfort when it came to film photographers and shooting film, and I just for that reason separated myself from shooting film or being a film photographer. I am happy that I did get into film and that I did let all that shit go and set my pride aside and shot film, because I do very much enjoy shooting film. I do very much enjoy the what you get from shooting film, the end results from film, the process of developing film, scanning film. I do enjoy all of that stuff. So I'm happy I let all that go and just started shooting film. It was like a new process. It was like learning how to be a photographer all over again. So I am happy I let all that shit go. And I'm also one of those people who I guess hopped on the film train because it was cool. So it is what it is. I don't regret it. I did. It is what it is. I call it for what it is. But yeah, but I also don't have an issue with digital photography at all. I still shoot digital. I still sometimes prefer some digital photos over film photos. I don't think it really much has I don't really think it's that much of a factor when it comes to photography. I feel like we always care and talk too much about the things that have absolutely nothing to do with photography. Who cares if you shot a picture with a can of Pringles? A picture's a picture at the end of the day. Who cares what it was shot with? If this picture can make me feel something, if this picture is even if the picture is just cool to look at, who cares what it was taken with? I do feel like some people do try to use this was shot on film as an advantage to kind of pull people in and make it seem like their photo is a lot cooler than what it is, I guess. Whatever, it is what it is. I really don't care what anybody do or the tactics they have to get people to look at their photos, because that's a goal. Everybody wants people to see their photos. So whatever you got to do whatever you got to do. But yeah, I do think some people may or may not use that technique to, you know, get more eyes on their work. But like I said, it is what it is. If you post a picture and you're like, this was shot on film, a lot of people who haven't shot film, and a lot of film photographers too, because I like me a good film photo, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of people who have never shot film before and kind of intimidated by film, they're going to see this good film photo and they're going to be like, well, they're going to see this good photo for one. Then they're going to see that this good photo was taken on film, and they're going to be like, oh, this is amazing. This person's amazing. Also, there are some characteristics about film that digital just does not have. And these are characteristics that draw people in and make them feel differently about photography. But digital has the same thing. There's very good digital photographers. I feel like some aspects of digital photography could just be too technical where people care too much about technicalities and shit like that. Whereas film seems more free flowing and people have the ability and freedom to do and put out and shoot whatever they want. And there's softer colors and softer feeling images and just kind of a nostalgic vibe to some film photos that people just like over digital photos. The dynamic range in film photography is second to none, even though some of these digital cameras are getting very wild. Like digital photography is getting wild. I remember when I first started photography in general, I was shooting digital, but just I would either have to expose for my highlights or my shadows, and you can expose for both if you do like some bracketing shit, but when you're on the go, you don't really have time for that. But sometimes, man, them highlights would get crazy, or sometimes them shadows would get kind of crazy. And I feel like film was a good medium between, it is a good, just like photos seem more natural. I took a photo inside of a bar once, and it was very bright outside. It was kind of dark inside the bar. I took it on film and I could see perfectly outside, perfectly inside. And that's when I switched to film. I was like, oh yeah, this is crazy. This is it. Y'all got me. But the debate around it, I don't know. I'm sure there's a debate. I don't try to get into that debate because I think people should shoot and do whatever they want, shoot with whatever they want, regardless of the new specs. I feel like some people can be kind of technical with film too. Like I've seen people be very technical about some film shit. I'm just like, come on, bro, like calm down. Like scratches or dust or anything like that on your film. Like some people like that. Some people despise it and they will let you know that they despise it. But who cares? Photography is photography. Who cares what all this technical shit is about if the photo is a good photo? You ever see photos from like early 1900s or even before, and just like the 1900s in general, or just today, regardless, and it's not like perfect, as it's very grainy, has some flaws, some scratches, some dust on it, but you don't care about none of that because of what the photo is. People are more willing to forgive that from back then than they are now, because they're like, now you got the ability to get rid of this dust and scratches and straighten your photo. But sometimes people just don't want to do that. I don't know. I feel like that's where the technical stuff come in, but it is what it is. Another person, Baron, aka Black Ordinance, says, do you foresee more film shooters in 2021 and why? Are you afraid of the new film photographers making photography look like a fad? I definitely see more film photographers in 2021. I feel like that's all I see now. Like I definitely see digital photographers still, but I feel like it's mostly film photographers that like maybe I've like put myself in this community and like that's really all I see and associate with it or whatever. I don't know. But I see a lot more people starting to shoot film and being film photographers, interested in film. Even if they shoot digital more, they still have an interest in film photography. That's only going to get, I feel like years going forward, the number is only going to get bigger and bigger of people starting to shoot film. Because that's just how history works. Like something starts, it dies out, and it gets reborn again. That's literally how it happens. This film is one of those things because of the nostalgic factor of it, like I said, and a lot of people are realizing now the good things about film and just more control over a photo, kind of. Even though digital, you can do all type of shit when you shoot raw, and they have these crazy like 100 megapixel cameras and shit like that. But a lot of people don't. Like a digital photo looks digital. A lot of people are trying to get away from that and just have a photo look like a photo, if that makes sense. But am I afraid of film photographers making photography look like a fad? No, because it's been that way for a while. It's not just film photographers making photography look like a fad. I think photography in general is a very oversaturated field. A lot of people do photography. You don't have to necessarily be a super professional photographer to own a camera. Like everybody has a camera on their phone. everybody, you ever ran into somebody or was with somebody that you know who isn't a photographer, like your mom or dad or aunt, uncle, some shit like that, and they got an iPhone and they're like, my phone takes just as good as pictures as your camera, and that shit irritates you because you're like, no, it doesn't, but like the photos do look kind of good though, for real. But they just don't understand, because I'm a photographer, there's a lot of things that go into photography, and they're like, I can just pull out my phone, take a picture, and it's as good as what you do. But whatever. But the thing is, my point being is that everybody is a photographer. Literally everybody is a photographer. Everybody. Doesn't matter who you are, what you shoot with, how much time you put into it. Everybody's quote unquote a photographer. Whether we like it or not. Everybody's a photographer. And it's already a fad. There's people out there who use photography for their own benefit outside of the reasons I personally think people should be doing photography. Now, not to say that my reasons why I think people should be doing photography is a reason everybody needs to be doing photography. Like, I'm not going to put that on everybody, because some people don't take it as serious as I do, or as serious as the next person. Some people want to do photography just because it's cool, and that's fine. That's cool. Nothing wrong with that. I like when people start doing photography. If you're interested in something, do it. I'm never going to be like, don't do that. Don't do it because you're not doing it for the reasons I want you to be doing it, or this sucks because it's no emotion behind it. You know what I'm saying? I don't really care that much. I have my reasons why I do photography, and the only person I need to worry about is myself as far as why someone else is doing photography. Just worry about myself. I don't put that on anybody else, because I can't. My life, I don't live anyone else's life but my own. So I do photography for the reasons I do photography. There's other people out there who do who do photography for their reasons. That's cool. That's okay. There's no problem with that. It is what it is. But there's people out there who use photography to like get girls. They're at the bottom of the totem pole. When I feel like people who use photography to get girls are like the lowest of the photographers to me. Like, bro, what are you doing? It's weird. Come on now. Then there's people who use photography to be cool. Like, literally just to be cool. Like, I got a camera. Look at me. I have a camera. I take pictures. I'm cool. I got the most expensive camera. I'm cool. Look at me. I'm a photographer. Whatever. Those people, they do what they do. No excuse for the people who use photography to get girls. I have no excuse for you. You're weird. And I have no excuse for it. Like, any other reason why people do photography, cool. That's their reason. That is the only reason where I'm like, yeah, you're a weirdo. And you shouldn't be doing it. You shouldn't be doing photography. That's your goal. There's people out there who use photography to make money. And like I said, I think if you get into photography solely to make money, then like wrong reasons, in my opinion. But like I said, I worry about myself. Also, there's people, like I said, who use it to get followers on Instagram or be cool on social media. Wrong reasons, in my opinion. But hey, do what you got to do. Whatever you want from this, take it. I'm in no position to tell people what they can and can't want from something. I don't care that much. Like I said, I only care about myself. Well, not like about myself. Like, I care about other people. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. In photography, I care about myself. What I do. The reasons why I do things. But it's already a fad. It's been a fad for a very long time. Way before I was even a photographer. Shit, I started photography because it's a fad. I guess. I like photography. There's reasons. I have my reasons, but I mean, it's cool to me. I like photography. But I mean, I'm not scared of that. I do think the more people introduced to photography, the more we will get out of photography. Because as a photographer, as an artist, I love other artists and other art, like other people's art. And some people might not be exposed to photography. Like, I wasn't really exposed to photography until I was like after high school. Like, this community of photographers, I have no idea this existed. But there might be kids who come from same situations like me, or even worse, who are now exposed to photography because more people are doing it, and they have their reasons why they do it, and they make great photos and stuff like that. So, I mean, I don't think film photography is what's making photography look like a fad. I just think the fad has already been here since before I even started photography. But hey. I guess getting into this video and why I'm making this podcast, but yesterday I tweeted, don't let social media dictate your art. Meaning, don't let what happens on social media affect the way you put out your art, the way you create your art. Don't let social media have any reason to why your art is, why you create the art that you do, or like what you do with your art or whatever. And some people was commenting. There's one person commented and said, shit kind of dictates my pockets though. And I understand to a point. Like, I'm not really even sure like what that meant for real. Like, social media dictates your pockets. Like, do you make money through social media? So like that's what's like dictating your paycheck or whatever. Because if so, then like, sure, make your money and stuff like that. But if you create art, in my opinion, if you are an artist and you start worrying about social media, so you start creating art for social media, I feel like that's like, I mean, I guess it's like to make money. Like, so now you're creating art to make money. But say you're an artist and your goal is to not make money with your art, or, I mean, you want to at some point, but like your main goal is to be an artist and create art. So you get on social media and you see people doing, or say you're a portrait photographer, you see everybody else taking landscape photos, and people are getting paid from landscape photos. Now, all these landscape brands are hitting up landscape photographers, and like that's what's in right now, landscape photography. So everybody's getting paid for landscape photography. All the people who are viewing photography on the internet are loving, they're only loving like landscape photography. You see people get like thousands of likes, hundreds of likes on landscape photos, and you're a portrait photographer, so you don't know nothing about that, and you're not getting the same type of treatment. So you switch to landscape photography because like that's what you want. You're looking at other people and like that's what you want. That's what I mean by like, don't let social media dictate your art. Because once you start caring about like what anybody else does or what anybody else has going on in their life, or the love that they're getting, that's when like things just start getting crazy. And you start thinking about that stuff. None of that stuff matter for real. Don't let someone with a big following who gets all the love on the internet like distract you from like what you want to do. Because at the end of the day, none of that shit matters when it comes to creating art. Social media and everything else could be gone. You've heard this before. It could be gone tomorrow. And Twitter could be gone. Instagram could be gone. YouTube could be gone. Everything could be gone. And then what? Are you going to stop taking pictures because there's nobody on the internet giving you recognition for the things you're doing? I don't know. Me personally, I don't care if social media exists or not. I'm going to still be out taking pictures. Followers do not matter in the long run. I'm grateful for every single follower that I do have, and everybody who loves my work, everybody who shows me love. Very grateful for it. Warms my heart, melts my heart every single time. I damn near broke down crying the other day because people show so much love to me. Something I never thought I'd receive ever in my life, especially coming from where I come from. It's not something that I ever would have thought would be achievable outside of like rapping or playing a sport. So I'm very grateful and very appreciative of every single person who likes a photo, views a video, shares, anything that they do, I'm very grateful for it. Reaches out, says thank you for anything. Very grateful for it, and I love it. Thank you. But at the same time, I started doing photography because I wanted to do photography, not because I seen anybody else on the internet getting love from it, or because I seen somebody running it up with like certain type of photos. You can't let social media and what comes with social media, because we see everybody on social media. Like when you follow other photographers or other people in the field of the things that you do, and you see them, oh, they're working with Nike. Oh, damn, this person just shot with this person. Oh, damn, this person did this, or they did that. They traveled here. Like when you start like caring about what other people are doing and you start like comparing yourself, that's when shit just get toxic. And that's when, I don't know, that's just when shit get crazy. Personally, I wouldn't recommend getting into any of that. The more you remain authentic and true to yourself, some of those things just naturally come. Because people fuck with people who are authentic. I started doing like the photography I was doing, and people hated that shit. There's people out there like, nah, this shit too crazy. People all in my DMs, Instagram deleting my photos. It was all type of shit going on. And I could have easily just been like, all right, I'm not going to do that shit no more. I'm going to do something that the internet approves of. I'm going to do something that social media approves of. And I'm going to grow that way. But that's not even why I do photography. It's not for social media. Social media doesn't affect, I don't let social media dictate anything that I do. You can't. Because then once you start letting social media dictate the art you put out, you're no longer doing art for the reasons that you probably initially started doing it in the first place. Then you're going to be depressed. Then you're going to be sitting around like, damn, what the fuck? Like, what's next? Like, you're going to be confused. You're not going to know what's going on. You're not. And especially because if you start doing something because the internet wants you to, and that's not you, it's going to be very easy to see through that. People are like, this is not even who this person is. You can tell when somebody faking it. Very, 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 very easy to be yourself. If you corny, be corny. If you're mean, don't be mean. Don't be mean. But I'm saying though, like I'm just talking, but at the same time, I'm just saying, like, be who you are. Do the work you want to do. Social media shouldn't be a factor when it comes to putting out the art you want to put out. Like if you're thinking about social media while you're taking pictures, then like maybe reevaluate the pictures you're taking or the art you're doing. Like reevaluate it. Just like, even if that's like, if you're out taking pictures and I guess like Instagram pops into your head while you're taking pictures and you're like, this would be dope for the gram. Reevaluate. Or I wonder if this gonna turn up on Twitter. Like reevaluate. You feel me? Because once all of that starts going through your head, then you're already lost. And you're gonna be in your feelings when you did some shit for the gram or you did some shit for social media and it doesn't pan out the way you thought it was gonna pan out. Like you took this picture because you thought it was going to be, like you thought niggas was going to turn it up. And when it doesn't turn up, you're going to be like, damn. So to avoid all of that, being true to yourself and who you are, the art that you make, you avoid a lot of shit by just being who you are. Let me find this. Let me see. There was a quote retweet that somebody commented on the same thing. And they said, but how will photography save my life if I don't post at the right time for the right person to see it while also not feeling jaded that all the attention goes to people who hardly have decent composition. I don't know about that last part, about the decent composition part, but we'll talk about the other parts. I guess we could talk about the composition part too, but I think the composition part goes back to saying that like a lot of the time you get on the internet, you see in what you believe to be a mediocre photo, in your opinion. Just saying, that's not me. I'm speaking for bro right now. But we've all been there. You get on the internet, you see some shit and you're like, that's cool, but why does it have 50,000 likes on it? But I do some shit and I hardly get any love. When you start thinking like that, and when you start caring about shit like that, that's also letting social media dictate your art. Because now you care about like other people's work and why they turning up and you not. You putting all this love and work. Because I used to get mad about shit like that. Like, damn, I'm putting all this effort and love and like realness and rawness into my work. But niggas don't care about that. They just care about Coca-Cola bottles and Abercrombie and Fitch ad type of photos. Like, do people not care about meaningful art? So when you start caring about shit like that, then you start getting in your head, you start thinking and not about the right shit. Who cares if somebody got 100,000 likes on a photo? Applaud them. Good for them. Even if you didn't even like the photo, even if you think the photo's not that good and doesn't deserve it, they got it. Who cares? Whatever. Not a big deal at all. But the part about posting at the right time for the right person, that's a lot too. Because sometimes people feel like you get into these things where this is another thing where social media affects your art. I usually post on the gram whenever I feel like posting on the gram. If it was 3 a.m, terrible time to post by statistics, right? But if I wanted to post at 3 a.m, I'm gonna post at 3 a.m. Who cares? A lot of people get caught up in that, like, oh, what's a good time to post? Gotta post at 12 p.m. or 9 a.m. when everybody's going to work and they're on their phone or anything like that. That's damn near letting that shit take control of you. If you do something for a job, like if you do social media for a job, then like, I guess, but if you just posting your own work and your own photos and stuff like that, then you care about certain people, like you care about everybody that's on the platform to see it ever. It's not going to happen. The more you just, I feel like people really respect when people just do what they want to do, regardless of any of these like norms or statistics or whatever. People just doing what they want. People respect that. When I see people doing what the fuck they want, when the fuck they want, I'm like, fuck with this person. I like that. Keep doing that. Some of these things just don't even matter when it, like, that's why social media low-key kind of toxic though. Because you can get wrapped into all of this and be like, damn. Especially like sometimes on YouTube too, like it can be, because I usually post my videos at 2. That's just when I get done editing them. Like I wake up in the morning, I start editing the video. I usually get done around that time, so I post them around that time. But say I missed the 2 p.m. deadline and now it's 6 p.m. and I didn't post a video. I'm not going to be like, damn, it's not 2 o'clock no more. I'm not posting this shit. Nigga, this shit getting posted. But sometimes people have their reasons though. Like I said, I can't be mad for anybody with their reasons. I can only do what I want to do and I can only care about the things that I do. If you have your reasons for why you shoot or the reasons for why you post at a certain time, for the reasons for why anything you do, that's your reasons. More than welcome to your reasons. I'm not going to sit here and tell anybody that they can't do what they want to do. I'm not one of them people on the internet that tell people what they need to do. Hey, more power to you. Despite whatever you do, more power to you. But hey, at the same time, worrying about certain things it's just going to get you like stuck in your head and kind of in this rut that's hard to get out of. I feel like every creative has been there. As much as anybody can preach, oh, do what you want to do, fuck them followers, whatever, you do what you need to do, followers don't matter, this and that. Everybody can preach that, bro. You've heard plenty of people preach that. I'm not the first person to preach that. But anybody who preaches that would be lying if they said that they never felt that way. The reason certain people preach this is because they have felt that way. They got out of it and they realized, hey, that shit actually don't matter for real. But I've been there where like, damn, what do I do? And then I realized, hey, hold on, wait a second. I don't even care for real. None of this is even the reason why I do photography. I love social media. I love the people who love my work. But for me, my work means so much to me. And I can't, for the life of me, be sitting around depressed or upset because a photo didn't do as well as I wanted it to do, or people are doing better than me. People are getting more jobs than me. People are meeting certain people and doing this and doing that. My life is not anybody else's life. Everybody is on their own path. Everybody has their own goals. Everybody has their own trials and tribulations. Everybody goes through their own things. I am a lot different from somebody who shoots photos in like Alaska. Somebody in Alaska is a lot different from somebody who shoots photos in Utah. Somebody in Utah is a lot different from somebody who shoots photos in like New York. Every single person from every single one of those places can have and can be upset or down about certain things that affect them within their art, and they're all going to be different. And they're all going to be like, damn, at least that person in New York can do this, or that person in New York going to be like, damn, at least that person in Alaska can do this. Everybody's different. Everybody has their own circumstances, their own situations, has their own thoughts, their own thought processes. So you can't get caught up in what somebody else is doing or whatever else somebody else has done. Who cares? You can only worry about yourself. Like I said, this entire podcast, I've only cared about what I do. And like I said, I speak on this because I've been there. I'm not about to sit here and make it seem like I've never went through any of that stuff of worrying about what other people are doing, comparing myself to other people. I'm not going to sit here and act like I've never done that. I'd be lying. Anybody else who says they've never done that is a liar. I don't care what they say. I can sit up here all day and say, don't worry about them followers. And then some people are going to be like, well, bro, you got 100,000 plus followers. It's easy for you to say. But people got to realize that I did a lot of the things that I do without trying, like without the, what's the word I'm looking for? Without trying to like, without followers and all of that being the main thing that I was trying to accomplish. I didn't wake up any day like, I never woke up like, how many followers can I gain today? Let me do something today that's going to get me followers. Never did that. Very grateful for every single follower I have. I said this already, but I never asked or like sought out for that. The only thing I've ever done was be myself. People hate me because I'm myself. I put out YouTube videos and there's people who dislike the video within 5 seconds of it being up. People don't like me because I'm myself. I speak on things that I want to speak about. I touch on things I want to touch about. What else? I shoot the things I want to shoot. I say whatever I want to say. I do whatever I want to do. People don't like that. There's a lot of people who, like the dude who told me to be more professional. People don't like it when you do whatever you want, but there are going to be a lot more people who respect that outside of the people who just dislike you. Like my mama said, they hung Jesus. Well, didn't hang him. They nailed him to a cross. A man that was trying to do so much for everybody. Very nice man, trying to help people. People didn't like him. I can't be caught up with people who don't like me. I'm not going to change who I am for anybody else on the internet, especially people who don't know me. You can't. You literally can't. So, with all that being said, you can't let social media dictate the things you do, the things you want to say, or anything. If you have a brand to uphold or whatever you got to do, do that. Do what you want to do, but do not let social media make you someone you're not. Because you still got integrity. I would hope everybody still had integrity and respected themselves and stuff like that. But hey, it starts to get a little bit crazy when you think about making money. Like, I feel like, bro, that's a different topic and like a different type of conversation, because money is like the root of all evil. And then to mix social media in with trying to make money. I know a couple of people who started photography just so they can like make money. Like, I need to make money. What camera should I get? There's a bunch of people out there like that. There's a bunch of people out there who didn't start photography to make money, but now they started making money. So now like their gears have shifted. Focus has shifted towards something else. I don't know. You get older, you do need to start making money. It is a dream of everybody's to have their passion be their job or whatever. Doesn't feel like a job if you love it, right? But that's a different story, though. I feel like some of those things just happen naturally without it having to be sought out. I don't know. That's just me. I don't speak for everybody. I just speak for myself. For real. But hey, that was a good talk. That was a good little talk we just had. What that I just had with myself. Yeah. I don't really have too much more to say on that topic. I think I said everything I've wanted to say. Also, in some of these past podcasts, this is the 11th podcast, by the way. The 11th one. I do want to thank everybody for tuning in to these podcasts. There's a couple loyal people who post every single time I drop these podcasts and listens to every single one. I know y'all listening to this one. Thank y'all. I love y'all. Y'all the truth, for real. To all the new people who are listening to the podcast, how you doing? Thank you for tuning in. To all the people who listen but don't post, still thank you. I appreciate all of y'all. Shit not easy trying to do these podcasts and do other things, and yeah, it's a lot of work, a lot of hard work. I'm not burnt out, not complaining, not nothing. I very much like doing all these things. Doesn't even feel like work. None of the things I do feel like I'm working. Even though I guess it's work. But not for real. I like doing these podcasts. I like talking. So I like doing these podcasts. I like speaking my opinions and my mind on these podcasts. Not like to y'all. Not like I don't want to tell anybody what to do or like make it seem like I know more than anybody, like I'm better than anybody, because I'm not. And I don't know more than anybody else. I just kind of speak on my behalf, on my brain's behalf. That's all. Not at y'all, to y'all. I don't talk at y'all, I talk to y'all. Which is great. I like it. Like it a lot. I appreciate y'all too, though. Love y'all, for real. But anyway, man, that's probably going to wrap up the podcast. I've been trying to find this perfect little medium of time for the podcast, but I've decided that I'm just going to talk. And when I'm done talking, I'm done talking. Whether that's an hour, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, 20 minutes, or even 10 minutes. If I'm done talking, then I'm done talking. I'm not going to try to force anything. I'm not going to try to you know, not going to put anything on myself. So yeah, that's just how I try to view things. I always see, that's another thing with like letting social media, because I would ask people like, how long y'all think the podcast should be? And everybody would give me their opinions and whatever. And if I go off of, like, if everybody's saying like, make it an hour, then like I'm trying to make every podcast an hour when I can't even speak for an hour. Then like, that's when I start, like, that's when it would start. And like trying to keep that up, that's when it would start to get like overwhelming and kind of crazy. So like I said, I'm going to do what I want and continue to do what I want, because I've always done what I wanted to do within photography or anything creative that I've done. So this is no different. Going to do the same thing with this. Anyway, man, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Appreciate y'all for listening. I'm probably going to do the next podcast live on Clubhouse. So if you have Clubhouse, you can listen to this podcast live. And then, yeah, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Anyway, gonna get out of here. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Thank you everybody for sharing. Thank you everybody for giving me your feedback and all that other stuff. It is always gratefully and truthfully appreciated. So yeah, man, gonna get out of here. Thank y'all. Let's get it.